So one of my best friends in the NBA, one of my best friends overall, this man was in my wedding. Two-time Gatorade Player of the Year, Mr. Basketball in Florida twice, McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand Classic, Nike Hoop Summit. This man had a 4.3 GPA his senior year at a top 10 high school in the country, and was the #1 point guard in the country his senior year. With no further ado, my brother Brandon Knight.
What's up with you, brother? You good?
Yeah, man, we good, man. Just relaxing on this great Saturday, man. Checking out all the All-Star festivities. We got the three-point shootout about to come and start. Who you got?
Man, it's a stacked field out here, man.
Facts.
Stacked.
Big time.
But you know what I'm saying? I like Book, I like K-Mid, you know, a little bit biased. I like them too, though. I know Steph in there too, though, so
that's the thing.
You can't go against him. That's my top three, though. Probably Steph, Book, and K-Mid. No particular order, but that's my
absolutely,
no particular order. It's a couple sleepers in there too, though. It's
tough for us to watch studies like this because we know guys and we're really biased about certain things. So, you know, absolutely, you know, if I had to pick somebody off of biasness off the rip, it's definitely going to be Chris Middleton. Great dude, good friend of ours. Devin Booker being another guy that's worked with us. You know, and then also we can't bet against the best shooter in the world. You know what I mean? It's tough to.
Man, my dog Book finna run that down, dog.
Man, I don't know, man. It's
dog
tough.
Book got a different mindset.
Listen, I love it. I love it.
He don't care about none of that what y'all talking about.
He's a competitor. He's a competitor. I hate how they highlighting this right here. It's like they just putting pressure on other guys right off the back. His dad won it. You know what I mean?
They gotta do that though. That's the marketing side of the NBA.
Facts, man. So talking about you're a South Florida native. A lot of people don't know the simple fact about you that you're from Miami.
Right.
You know, talk about a little bit about your roots, about Miami, just the Miami area.
Sure. Was born and raised down there for a good part of my childhood.
Yep.
In Carroll City.
Absolutely. CC Zoo. Shout out to CC Zoo, baby.
Was there for a good little minute, probably till about 19 years old, and after that came to Broward. So a lot of people ask me where I'm from, and you know, I kind of claim both. You know.
Facts.
But I definitely say Miami. Most people from out of town, that's what they know, Miami.
Absolutely.
They don't really know Lauderdale and Broward like that. So, but Miami's, you know, definitely home where I'm from. I got roots in both places, Miami and in Broward.
For sure. And you play football too. Like being Miami, Florida in general is a football state. Yeah. So
that's what we
us
do.
Growing
man.
up, like basketball was secondary.
We could hoop too, but we could do everything.
Yeah, we could hoop.
Athletes,
listen,
man.
we could hoop too.
Yeah, we
but
could hoop
football
too,
was like the thing. You played football. You played
run,
in that.
Jump, all that. Like
listen. The Optimist days in Miami was like the NFL.
Oh, for sure.
It was ridiculous.
It still is.
Like, you know how many people has made it to the NFL from the Optimists in Miami. It's just unbelievable. So the fact that you have the football roots lets you know that you're a true Floridian, if I should put it.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, started that at 4 years old. We playing throw it up tackle at 2 years old.
Man,
in the street.
Oh, throw up tackle, block football. We used to do that. So I lived in Miami Gardens. I lived off of 47, right? So what we used to do, I hate that I call it Miami Gardens. It's really Carroll City, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
but you know,
that's why I laugh.
Yeah, it's Carroll City. You know what I mean. But we used to go block from block, like guys like Ethnic Sands, man. Like J-Boy, that's my guy, man. Grew up around him. We used to just go block to block playing, block football. And like, what are some of the NFL players that you might have came in contact with throughout your Optimist days?
A couple, man. A couple guys.
I think you played with Stedman.
Yeah, I played with Stedman Bailey.
Stedman Bailey
the
from
fastest
Nimrod.
dude I ever came in contact with.
For sure.
But he was probably the main dude that that I say I came in contact with that made it. A couple other guys, but he definitely probably the highlight for sure.
Yeah.
Went to West Virginia.
Well.
You know, big time athlete down here. Got major love down here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He played at Miramar High School.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, had an amazing career. Geno Smith was over there, the quarterback at the time with him.
Yeah.
Another Florida guy.
Yeah.
Made it to the NFL, man. So, you know, it's just tough, man. So what made you transition to basketball, like end up being a football state? Because I know for me, you know, being a football state, we were just like, listen, it's either NFL or nothing.
Right.
So, you know, I could talk about my transition, but, you know, what was your transition to the game of basketball?
I think because I started off, football was my first love, you know. So I played that at 4 years old, 4 years old, with pads on. We put pads on at 4 years old. So I think, hold on.
This is crazy right here. Not to cut you off, but we're
Curry.
watching Dale Curry right now still shoot that ball against Ray Allen, who's probably going to smoke him.
Nah, Ray made a shot right now.
Oh, they going rack for – they
trying to see what their total going to be together, I think.
Wow. Ray Allen
Dang, Ray ain't make one.
Ray out here shitting on the money.
Okay, Glenn on one. Boom.
Come on, G-Money. Do it for the Miami Pro League. Shout out to the Miami Pro, man. Glenn Rice being the Miami Pro, still getting buckets.
Still getting buckets. Oh, there you go.
Woo! Split. Oh! Dale Curry. Boy, them boys ain't shooting 5 years, man.
30.
Boy, them boys ain't shooting 5 years. They came right out there. Listen to the interview if he huffing and puffing. He ain't look like he in good shape right now, too. So, pretty much, we talked about a little bit in the intro. I said 4.3 GPA. That is unheard of. You've been brought up in the hood, like you say. You lived in Miami. That's most of how we've been all brought up at the end of the day, to have that mentality of the survival of the fittest, right? What was your angle with education? Why were you so serious about school? How did that come about? Like,
I know, shoot, if I didn't have it right once I got home and get that head beat in.
Ooh-wee.
It wasn't about me. Pops wasn't playing about that.
I still got them flashes.
For sure, dog. You know what I'm saying? So I think, that's really just from my parents, you know. Not saying that education wasn't important to me, but, you know, my parents, they wasn't accepting anything less than, you know, than excellent. So
Facts.
That's what I had to be. I had to be held to that standard, you know what I'm saying? My dad
Facts.
knew I had the smart. So, I mean, for me, you know, I think we all have common sense. You know, we all smart people. We all, you know, got a good, you know, baseline for just, you know, like I said, just knowing things, you know what I'm saying? Just having good sense.
100%.
So I feel like a lot of it is just the effort.
100%.
You know, effort, putting effort into learning what's going on and not really caring, you know, that people try to make being dumb cool. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah,
like,
man. Like, you know, like I
cool
promise you that's when we grew up. It was just like, what happened is people deflect. They deflect from having their issues in the classroom, and they use that to say, hey, I'm going to act out. I'm going to be the class clown since I can't read, instead of just saying, hey, I can't read, but you know what? I'm going to figure out a way to become a reader.
Told you this man was a sleeper, dog. Stop.
Who's that, Joe Harris?
Yeah. Talking about,
man.
What'd you say? What'd you say? What get tight?
Listen,
exactly.
It's cojones.
Nah.
It's cojones in the big
lights.
Finished
off with all hit every single money ball. How about that?
I hear him, but
every
listen.
single money ball. How about that? He going to the next round.
You know what? I'm going to be honest.
Nah, I don't want to hear nothing.
I haven't seen enough of him.
You was talking about before.
Oh, no, I'm staying Steph Curry.
No. Who's your sleeper?
My sleeper was...
You can't say Damian Lillard because that ain't no sleeper.
That ain't no sleeper. My sleeper, it was biased, very biased, just because a lot of people ain't going to know him as being a great shooter. And it's for sure... is that Blake Griffin?
He got the income.
Why he look like his brother. Oh, the other that went on Oklahoma. He look like his brother right there. That's crazy. Blake Griffin's chilling in the cut. You got Kemba Walker over here. He's a scorer. He's not a shooter.
Yeah, he's a rhythm player.
He's a scorer. He ain't
you gotta prove me wrong right here.
He gonna get hot. The thing is, he can get hot and go knock out 2 racks.
Easy. He gotta put it on the ground though. He's a dribbler.
Yeah, wanted to put it on the floor. He put it on the floor. It's tough for him like this.
Yeah,
put him in a pick and roll, and now we talking.
Sure.
Now we talking. Put his ass in the pick and roll. Now we talking.
Hey, that's a different competition though. This catch and shoot. This ain't even catch and shoot though.
It's tough. Now, see,
It's
what
tough.
I say, when he get hot, it's a wrap. Look, when he get hot, it is a wrap.
He ain't getting 25.
Get hot. Get hot. I like to see guys like him. He is one of the most unappreciated players in the NBA.
I mean,
by far, one of the most unappreciated.
He getting them all-star appearances now, though. They seen what he could do.
Facts, because at the end of the day, his team is in the playoff hunt. That was the key.
For sure.
That's it. That's the only thing that stopped him in the future, in the
25.
past.
How about that?
What he got?
Shout out to my guy, though.
Ooh, that's okay. Hey, Kimber, you a scorer. Can't none of them boys check you out there. That's the matter.
That's a fact.
Ain't none of them boys can check you.
That's a fact.
Forget this game. Forget the contest.
So wait,
check me in a real game. Who, Dirk?
Why Dirk got his stuff on?
They tripping. Dirk said, y'all not about to leave me out.
Dirk
on
said
his
that?
last, and look, you remember when Larry Bird hit that? You remember when Larry Bird was on the last leg and he made that three and he kept the hand up? Look,
Facts.
he shot that thing. He was in mid-shot. He kept that hand up. That's a little history right there, boy. Larry Bird always going to be nice.
Joe, y'all sleeping on Joe Harris, man. I'm dis.
Let's
my
go,
guy,
K-Man. You see my boy in the back. He along for the ride. He along for the ride. Oh my God! Look how easy.
Oh,
so look.
gosh.
So my thing is.
Oh my God!
Listen, my thing
Hit that,
is
K.
in the 3-point contest. I look for guys who shoot effortless, who don't jump.
Come on, K.
Sitting on the money.
Come on, K.
You sitting on the money.
I'm gonna say you ready for the All-Star game. How about that?
That's why. Listen, if I'm him, I'm like, bro, I'm in the All-Star game. Max me.
Need this.
Come on, K-Man. I need at least 17 from
we
you.
getting 20. We're going to get a 20 ball.
I need, God, got to be more careful.
Come on,
okay.
K.
Don't be with us.
Nah, he ain't with us. He in Charlotte.
Oh, shit. Don't be with us, K-Man. Hey, K-Man.
There you go. He's shooting too fast. He's going to finish with 8 seconds left.
Yeah, you wildin'. You ain't got to shoot that fast. Hey, K-Man, come on down here to Miami and get this work in when you're done, man. Damian Lillard, as he's watching him, we watching him shoot. One of the most effortless shooters in the NBA. And he shot that off one leg. Look, that's ridiculous.
He just shot it just cuz, like that.
The clock was expiring. One of the most effortless shooters. You agree?
Yeah, no, for sure. He can shoot
from anywhere.
Yeah.
From anywhere.
Easy too.
Shoot it off the bounce, catch and shoot.
He like the step back joint though.
Facts.
Step
That's
back,
his thing.
dribble into it.
He think.
Yeah.
He love that right there. A lot of these guys, it's rhythm. You know, it's rhythm. Beat. That's rhythm, so they can get to whatever their go-to is. So as this goes to commercial, let's talk about a little bit how we met. Why you chose to work with me. What was that experience like? You know, just for the people so they know a little bit about our history.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was through Big Bro and Key, Keon Doolin, another legend from down here. I always say he paved the way for, a lot of us to do what we do. And,
for sure.
And, you know what I'm saying, he the OG to a lot of this, OGs before him, but he my OG. So,
yep.
Like I said, he showed me a lot and put me in position to do a lot of things. So I always thankful for him. But, that's really where the connection came from. He met, Big Bro and told Big Bro, like, hey, need to come work with, such and such. Come work with Stan. Come work with my guy. Work with him. Take his game to the next level. Get him ready for the next level. And once that, kind of happened, that's where it all started.
It took off, man.
Did my first workout with you, and then I knew that's where I had to be at.
For sure. Yeah, man. So I remember the first workout that we had. It was a tough one. For me, it was an evaluation workout. Able to see your pros, your cons, things that you're good at, things that you're not good at. Was Roach at our first workout?
I'm not even sure, bro.
I don't think he was at the first one.
That wasn't.
I don't think that was right off the bat.
No.
I think that was later on.
Still early on.
Very early on. So Roach was somebody I played with in high school. He was one of the best players to ever come out of Cooper City. He was an international player at the time, one of the best. And I remember just working out with you for a week, just getting reps, doing different things, teaching different things. And, at the end of the week, we're just like, hey, maybe you could play against a professional that could possibly you know, give you a measuring stick of where you need to be, where you need to get better. You were in 10th grade at the time, so you're a young man. He was already a professional, you know.
For me, I'm like, man, it's an overseas player, man. I'll be fine.
Exactly. You was ready to take on the task and bust his ass. You was ready for it. The thing about it, I put him in front of you because I know he was very, very good. Things didn't go the way you wanted it to go. No. Okay, things didn't go the way you wanted it to go. You guys went, you know, back and forth for a little bit. For the most part, though, you know, he big brothered you a little bit. You know,
back and forth. Man tried to kill me, dog. Tried to make a point. That's what he tried to do, dog.
He did. Because I hyped you up. I was like, bro, this young kid, man.
That was adult on child abuse, bro.
That was a great listen.
But I mean, yeah, it helped me though. You know,
for sure.
But this man going bulldog right, left. I'm pulling on his tank top. He dunking that shit anyway. I'm like, come on, man.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy, but it was a great learning tool for you. And then it was a great learning tool for me because I was able to go back in the lab and say, hey, this is what we got to work on.
Yeah.
I'm able to see you in action. This is what we got to work on. So by us getting back in the gym, I think we worked for like another 3 weeks. Then we called Roach to come back at the end of the summer.
It was punish time after that.
We made him come back at the end of the summer before it was time. He's at his best. This is before he got to go overseas.
Sure.
He is at his best. He's at his sharpest. He was better than the first time he played. But we got in the gym for about 3 weeks, working on all the weaknesses that we needed to work on, strengthening all the great things about you, and it was a massacre. That right there, that moment when you killed him, first of all, he had no control over what was going on. It was almost like he was ghost riding the whip.
Right.
He had no control over what was going on.
Right.
You annihilated him.
I was seeing red, though. You gotta think about this, man. Last time I played this, man, he dunking with the left, dunking with the right. You know what I'm saying? He just steady dunking on me. So when I'm playing him this next time, all I'm seeing is red. I'm not letting you, like, you're not. I'm trying to kill you now. I'm trying to kill you now. I'm seeing blood. That's all I'm seeing.
Facts. So
that's all I'm thinking right now.
It was the biggest, biggest learning experience for me. Even though you're the one actually out there, I was able to learn so much about you. You being so headstrong, you being so determined to get better, you being so determined to win. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Book about to win this.
I would love to see
Book versus
Steph. I would love to see that. Book versus Steph down the stretch. He's a scorer, though. That's the thing. That's the only thing that hurts. That's the only thing that hurts Book sometimes. He's a scorer. Come on, Book. Look how easy he shoots. Crazy. Let's go. Look at Honcho. Is that Gucci man next to him?
Gucci is there.
Gucci there? Hell yeah, that's Gucci right there. That boy froze, boy, on that bench. So moving on. Highlighting the fact that we are both from Florida, and we talk about Florida hoops. Guys like Mitch Richmond, Keon, Udonis Haslam, James Jones, Steve Blake, Vince Carter, guys that that people don't know, like the Austin Rivers, the Kenny Boytons. Where do you put yourself? Where do you put yourself in that?
Who else?
So I said like
Teddy Dupay in there, right?
Teddy Dupay. Okay, Teddy Dupay was, oh my Jesus. So before I got to high school, I remember going to watch that game. He scored 72 points on my team.
Yeah,
72.
Where's he shooting from?
Teddy Dupay.
Where's he shooting from?
You would cross half court and just let it go. It was ridiculous.
Oh, you know who we missing? Torian Green.
Torian Green, yeah, he was good, but I like Torian Green, but I don't think he's in the Kenny Boyton, Austin Rivers. Don't forget the Darius Washingtons. You understand what I'm saying? Don't forget those guys. And you got the young group, the John Collins, guys like that. But I mean, I feel like they didn't have enough body of work early. They made it, during the time of, when I feel like Florida basketball started to water down a little bit. But just talking about like the people like the Eddie Jones, the Mitch Richmonds, the Vince Carters, right? The Keon Doolings, the Donis Haslam's, the Steve Blakes, the James Jones, you know, the Tim James. I can go even deeper, like those guys. Like when you talk about Florida hoops, where do you confidently put yourself?
We talking about high school basketball?
High school.
Number one.
Number one.
About high school basketball.
High school
a lot
basketball.
of those guys had great NBA careers. And, you know, I'm still in the middle of mine. So
facts. We're not even talking NBA either. We're talking high school basketball.
A lot of that story is yet to be written. But if we talking about high school, I'm putting myself number one.
I feel like accolades-wise, like two-time Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I think that's only been done by like Kobe Bryant, Greg Oden, people like that, right?
Just Bron myself.
Just you, Bron, and who else?
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden. So you, Bron, and Greg Oden have that. So we talking Florida sports, and we're talking about some of the best players ever to ever have that kind of accolade. Mr. Basketball twice. When we talk about the era of high school basketball, you being the case that you played at a private school opposed to the public school, how do you think people view that, and how do you view that as far as when you say, I'm the best high school player to ever come out of Florida? So how do you view that? Like, do you think that, damn, I wish I played for a public school, or do you feel like, hey, it really doesn't have a problem, or it really doesn't interfere with your greatness as a Florida basketball player?
I don't think it does, because, I mean, we did play those schools. We won games against them. We lost games against them. I had 40, 50 against them. So, I mean.
40, 50?
Huh?
40, 50?
40, 50. We played Dillard a couple times, played Ely. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's basketball at the end of the day. So, I don't really see like that playing a huge factor. And you got, you know, Heritage who, I mean, to be honest with you, like when I was in school, like a lot of the top elite public school players started going to private school.
Going to private, especially
like,
during your era.
Like,
during your era, 100%.
You had Ray, who was at Pace, or 4A school at the time.
Yep.
That was considered public school. 4A through 6A was considered public school.
Yep.
And they had success. He came over to Heritage with another player that had won a state title in a 6A school at Ely and Kenny Boynton.
As a freshman, I think.
Yeah, as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? They came to private schools. So when I was, you know, in high school, a lot of the public schools, they still were competitive. You know, they had a lot of players with dog. You know what I'm saying? That just loved to hoop. But I would say private school had like the players that were ranked, you know, nationally and and top 10. Cardinal Gibbons had a couple players that were ranked. You know what I'm saying? That's a private school.
For sure.
I think they might have been 4A too though. But
so when you look at the eras, right? Say for instance, I graduated 03, right? My 01 year, I just literally moved up to varsity, right? And we had to play against a Dillard team that was number 5 in the country, right?
Right.
And they went 6'11", 6'9", 6'6", 6'4", and 5'10". Right. Have you ever seen anything that big for a high school that you ever played against? Mind you, everybody in that starting lineup was a Division I basketball player.
Right.
I think
I won't say like, you know, that's an NBA line.
That's my point. That's why
they're unheard of.
That's why older guys will look at it and say, "Well, damn, look at the era."
Yeah, but in my mind, like I said,
you killing that anyway.
I'm still gonna go get 40. Like I said, win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna still be myself.
You're gonna be yourself.
Be nice like that, especially in high school. That ain't a question to me.
That was I feel like that era of basketball had.
I mean, like I said, I caught a lot. I mean, some of those guys I played against on the, you know, the tail end of them in the league, and I've seen a couple of them guys. So
for sure,
I'm not really worried about that for
sure.
Like
but we talking high school now.
I'm just saying though, that's still a reflection of who you are in a way.
Sure. Like somebody like a Eddie Jones that was at Ely himself, right?
Yeah.
Eddie Jones was an amazing basketball player in high school.
For sure, yeah.
Mitch Richmond, amazing basketball player in high school. You know, not being biased about what their NBA career per se looks like. When you look at high school pound for pound, you gotta mention people like Kenny Boynton who have not even made the NBA.
Yeah.
Who I feel like between when I say the new era, you, Kenny Boynton, I can pull you guys, and Austin Rivers, I can add them to that.
For sure.
I'll pull you guys put you in the era of my era and a little bit before me, and I feel like you guys would have might had a success. But imagine like a Keon Dooling picking you guys up full court, athletic, 6'3", super athletic. You know what I mean? Like, those are the questions that they look at. They look at it like this. They look at it like this.
Mitch Richmond, come on.
Every one of those teams back then in that era always had a superstar, and it had an all-star, and it had somebody that was all county. You understand what I'm saying? Like for you, no, it's no shot at your team, but for the most part, when you look at guys that were going to be super successful at the next level, when I mean next level, I mean high Division I, it was mainly you.
Yeah.
So it'll be tough. It would have been tough playing against those Dillard teams when you have to match up against 4 or 5 other Division I athletes on the floor at the same time. Do you think it would have took a hit at your statistics at all, competitively wise, like playing
you just
against
said,
a
if
team?
it's just me, I'm getting all the shots anyway. So statistically, nah, it might not be good basketball, but no, it ain't gonna take no hit.
Facts. I agree. Listen, I'm riding with you. I done seen a lot of high school basketball played. Your killer instinct, your mentality, your work ethic.
Like I said, it still ain't 5-on-1. All 5 people can't guard me at one time.
For sure. I feel like all of that will translate to the era then and the era now. At the end of the day, when you look at it, and you coming out and saying that you feel like you're the best high school basketball player to ever come out of Florida, I think it's to anybody that's came before you, they can look at it and say, you know what, statistically, his dog, and like I said, statistically, him being a dog, it's definitely an argument to anybody that want to come to the table. It ain't nobody like, hey,
ain't gonna be
no way.
You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. Everybody can have
their opinions
and their discussions. The old heads could feel how they gonna feel, and I'm sure when I'll get a little bit older, I'm gonna feel how I feel about some young kids that they're gonna be talking about. But
for sure,
that's not gonna change my perception on how I feel about what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Mr. Basketball twice. That's it is what it is.
Mr. Basketball, and that what I hate about eras too, when they talk about greatest players ever. Like at the end of the day, Michael Jordan can't play in this era, so don't talk to me about that era. At the end of the day, you measure somebody from where they play, what they're playing in. Like, so Jerry West, like I think it's some exceptions. Like people like Jerry West.
What about Jerry West?
Like I feel like.
What you feel like?
I feel like he would get cooked in any era that's after him. Like at the end of the day, they got him as the logo. They got him as this. The game has changed. It's certain asterisks where it's like, you know what? I don't feel like he's going to translate to that.
I think he would translate, but it's just how much of his game translates to this era.
It's tough. Imagine him guarding D Wade or Devin Booker or something like that.
It's tough.
Or even you know what I mean? I could even go down like, you know what I mean? Like I imagine him guarding one of those guys. But it's still respect to those guys because they played in that era, and you got to respect them. What do you grade yourself? A being the highest, F being the worst of your career so far. How do you feel about your career? How happy you are about your career?
I'm happy about my career.
Sure.
I feel like I made the most out of the situations I was put in.
For sure.
I feel like a lot of your success is based on a couple of things: opportunity, timing. Like it's so many things that go into being a successful player.
For sure. So
based on the opportunity, where I was at, when I was in certain situations, who I was playing with, what the teams wanted for that situation, I'm happy with how my career has went. I don't have any regrets.
For sure.
Like I said, I plan to play in this league a long time. You never know how the ball's going to fall, but I think I'm going to play a long time, so I feel like I got a lot more to go. But at the end of the day, like I said, you got to make the most of your situation. All the teams that I've been on, I feel like I've had good years.
For sure.
Outside of maybe Houston, where being injured and coming back from injury, they didn't give me much of a chance to really show that they're trying to win a championship, which is all good.
Yep.
I'm all business, but like I said, it's all going to come full circle.
For sure.
But like I said, every situation I've been in, I try to make the best of it, and I know I have, So.
Absolutely. One of my favorite seasons for you, to me, was your best season, but it wasn't your best statistical season. But I think it was your best impactful season was the last year in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
the year before that year, you guys won like, what, 10 games or something like that?
I don't know. We didn't win.
You know, you didn't win a lot of games. And the next year you came in, and I think by All-Star break, you guys were like top 5 in the East.
Yeah, top
You had top 4. You had NBA guys rooting for you,
right, sure.
telling they're going out in the public like a Dwayne Wade saying, "Hey, I want Brandon Knight to take my place in the All-Star game because I feel like he's impacted his team at a very high level and got his team winning." And then you get traded.
Yeah.
So talk about the business, how the business has affected your career as well.
I mean, I think that's kind of, you know, as a young player, you don't really understand how much business goes into the NBA.
100%.
The NBA is a multi-billion-dollar industry, so I mean, it's really driven by business. You know, basketball is a huge part of it, but like I said, you know, it's a money industry, and like I said, it's a lot of stuff we could talk about. But a lot of the decisions that are made with teams are not basketball decisions, but business decisions. There's only a few teams that really try to keep it all about basketball. And when you get into a situation like that, you know, you love that. You know what I mean? You love that it's about basketball. But like I said, it's a business at the end of the day. So, you know, a lot of stuff comes with, you know, players making business decisions, and they get a bad rep for making a business decision. But teams can make business decisions all the time.
100%.
And not get penalized for it, or not get, you know, the fans aren't looking at them sideways, but they look at the players sideways. So I think we all have to just realize that it's a business. And like I said, a lot of stuff that happened in my career has been business decisions by teams. And like I said, so when the power comes towards the players, not just myself but other players, and we make business decisions, fans and everybody else have to respect that. That's just what it is.
I feel like as rookies, when you guys first come in the NBA, you guys have aspirations to be this best player ever to ever play basketball, Hall of Famer, All-Star, all these different things. And I feel like the business, you know, definitely comes and deflects those situations, and it alters your mentality on where you want to be and cap yourself out. So at this point, what is your goals? Like, what do you...
I'm never going to put a cap on myself, man. So
okay. So what are your goals?
7-8 years into the league. For me, just continue to get better.
For sure.
Coming off an injury, just to get back to that and even better. Like I said, I'm never going to ever put a cap on myself. If I can be in the MVP race, guess what? I'm going to believe that I can be in the MVP race. If I can be an All-Star, I'm going to continue to believe that. You know
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
I was knocking on the door before, and like you said, got traded. You know, had some business things that happened, but like I said, I'm never going to cap myself. You know, I'm going to always just go in and try to help a team be better, help a team move forward, and be the best player I can be, and see where the chips fall. Like I said, I'm happy with how I am. I haven't made an All-Star game yet.
For sure.
You know, but like I said, I'm still happy with my career because I made the best out of, you know, situations that I've been in.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say I should have been an All-Star already. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's why I said a lot of it's based on circumstances. You know, players know. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know. We know who can hoop. We know who can't. You know, we respect each other's game. So, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm happy with what I've done. But there's still a lot more to go. You know, a lot more to go. So, like I said, I'm never gonna put a cap or a ceiling on myself. But
for sure.
You got to also understand and be realistic about where you're at. You know.
Yep.
Every season is different. Every situation is different. So, if a team gives you the opportunity to go out and you know, take a lot of shots and, you know, be a primary focus on that team, you got to take advantage of that. They come in and say, hey, at this point in your career, we want you to do this, and you got to do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to make the most out of that situation. So that's what I said I'm going to always do, and that's what I've done. So, like I said, I'm happy with where I'm at and where I'm going.
Yeah, absolutely, man. To touch on that, I think that your career has gone great. You've shown a lot of the things that you've done in college was able to translate. A lot of the things that you were able to do in high school was able to translate to the league. So that's the thing I look for. I see a lot of guys make the honors, All-Americans, this, that, and the other, and they come in the NBA and they don't become that type of guy.
Sometimes they don't even make it in the NBA.
NBA,
that's number one.
Yes.
I've been in for 8 years, and like I said, it went by quickly. But a lot of guys can't even say that. You know, they in 2, 3, 4 years.
For sure.
And they can't even say that. So to be in 8 years, going on 9 next year, like I said, a lot of people can't even say that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
League averages 3-4 years, and it's getting shorter.
Unbelievable.
So
Unbelievable.
To be able to say, man, I was at least a 9-year vet, man, at minimum.
At minimum.
At minimum, you know, that's saying a lot. So, like I said, I'm blessed, and you know, like I said, if this was me when I was younger, I wouldn't have been happy about saying, "Oh, I was a 9-year vet."
For sure.
Blah, blah, blah. But now that I'm
grow.
older and
you
I
grow.
have perspective, man,
you grow.
that doesn't happen, you know, a lot. You know, that's a blessing, man. So, like I said, I'm happy with that. You know, like I said, and I'm going to continue to strive to play longer, play better, and continue to get better as an individual and as a player.
You know, seeing the team that you're on now, the Cleveland Cavaliers, a lot of opportunity. You know, they're not doing as well as they thought they would do. A lot of different trades, different situations. I love their GM, Kobe. He's a good friend of mine. Looking at somebody like a Colin Sexton, right?
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of you about as far as style of play, mentality, and also opportunity. I think his opportunity is a little bit greater than it was for you, but you know, you being somebody that's been in the league that's similar to him when he was in his position, what are some words that you think that as you become more, you know, comfortable with him as far as mentorship, what are some things that you think that you would tell him?
I mean, just to be patient, you know, be patient. Some of those things you're not going to learn overnight.
Absolutely.
Like some of that stuff I didn't get to, I had years in the league, and it's still stuff that I'm learning, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, pace and stuff like that. So it's going to come over time, but not to get frustrated with it. You know, older guys, and that's the biggest thing. You know, me being in Cleveland so far, I can, you know, truly see, you know, the vets there. You know, we really want,
watching this dunk contest too. This is crazy.
Yeah, Kentucky dude. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
There go Westbrook, man.
Kentucky guys, man. We gotta represent Hami with the left hand windmill. You know what it is. Some of the vets, you know, a lot of times they don't always look out. You know what I'm saying? They don't always
For sure.
They don't always put their best foot forward with trying to get a young guy, you know, better and help him grow and succeed in, you know, in this league. And you know, it's a shame, but you know, with the Cavs, that's not the case. You know, all of our vets, they want the best for him, and they always telling him, you know, things to help his game. So, like I said, for me, it would just be, you know, listen to those guys. They've been where you're at, and they've taken steps that you're trying to take. So, you know, we want nothing but the best for you. The better that he is, the better that our team's gonna be. So we all want to win and be successful. So my biggest thing is just telling him just to listen to those guys. You know,
for sure,
listen to them
and
and put it into place. You know, and to not, you know, not to be the same player. Take those steps every game. It might be a minor step, but as you add those steps up, you're gonna be a much better player. That's my biggest words to him.
Absolutely, man. Well, you know, you've learned, you know, from the vets that you've been around. You know, some been good, some not been good, but you've been in the league long enough to know what to expect.
Right.
So you're able to, you know, lead him the right way. You want him to, if you get traded again or when you're done playing, you want him to say, hey, man, Brandon was with me and he really showed me the rope. He really cared.
For sure.
You know, a lot of guys don't have to care. You got people got families, people got different things. Right. So to put that extra effort into another young man or a young player to give them the ropes and go through things that you went through and give him that extra, you know, ups on the actual, you know, on your opponents and in the NBA, it's a blessing, man, that you're able to do that for guys, man.
Sure.
So we're gonna ask a fan a question. I think our last segment of the show, where we just literally, you know, a fan asks a question and we touch on it. I'm gonna let it go on my live stream, and I'm gonna see a couple of the questions asking, and then we're gonna pick the best one. Whatever the best one is, we'll both you can ask me a question, and then you can ask Brandon a question, and we'll go from there. So we'll go on my live stream. How you spin it? Jaden, can you back up, please? Over there. Now, be nice in here with me. You know, say what's up, man.
What up, bro? You all right?
All right, so we're about to go live now. We're going live, so we're going to let it build up for a little bit. You can ask either me or Be Night a question right now. We got the live podcast going on. So Austin's you're going to read us some of the questions that's coming in. You can have the camera that's on us. You can spin it around so it's still on us. And just you can read some of the questions. Ask us anything. We're doing a live podcast now. Anything anything that you guys want to know about his career, about mine, or anything. It can be anything. How do you become great? If that ask that person, is that a me question or is that a him question? Like, I don't know. You gotta specifically. You asking me or you asking Brandon? You want us to both answer? I'll let Brandon answer it first.
I mean, for me, I think it's mindset number one. And then once you have a mindset that you want to be great, I think number two is taking the steps, and that's putting the work in. A lot of people talk about wanting to be great, but don't really want to put the time it takes into doing that. Whether that be getting stronger, getting quicker or faster, becoming an elite shooter, elite ball handler, like whatever it is, whatever skill you need to perfect your craft, working at it every day or almost every day. And I think a lot of people, they say they want to do that, but they don't really put the time and effort into that. So
Sure.
I think it's two things: persistence and mindset. Once you have those two things, and you have that just determination, I think that's what you'll get that greatness that you're talking about.
Absolutely. Just touching on the mindset, falling in love with the process of getting better. It shouldn't be pulling teeth to go get extra shots up or go get stronger. You got to fall in love with the part of the process of getting better. I feel like a lot of people don't fall in love with the process of getting better. So to me, when he talks about mindset, being a student of the game, not just playing the game, understanding how to play the game, all of that is a factor in your overall outcome to basketball. So just touching on a lot of things that he said, man, being great, falling in love with that process of getting better, getting the extra shots up, doing different things. Got another good one?
Yeah. Brandon, what do you love about Cleveland?
I think the biggest thing, the city, the fans are great, number one. They're behind the team, win, lose, or draw. So I think that's super cool to me, super dope, super important.
Yep.
An organization, they won a championship, so they know what it takes to be successful. They know what it takes to be elite. So I think that's also great to be a part of that history and trying to get back to that. I think that's cool as well.
All right, perfect, man. Be nice, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, my man.
Man,
Always
thank you,
love,
man. You already know. So we wrap up our first episode, man. We're going to keep this going. And that's it, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. See you on the flip side.